Christian Fundamentals, Spiritual Hierarchies, Part 3 by Zeb Fenton, copyright 2008. This presentation conforms to the teachings of Jesus Christ. In this third podcast of the series, I will continue my talk about terms, references, and relationships with periods of time, spiritual objects, and spiritual entities. This time we will find out some secrets of the Bible as we continue with the Sun Period, showing how the Cherubim and the Archangels worked with mankind, as well as reflect back upon the Saturn Period. As review, let's start with the Father, the Invisible One, initiator of all development in this region of space, in all the worlds. The spiritual entities involved in man's development are the Seraphim, Cherubim, Lords of Flame, Lords of Wisdom, Lords of Individuality, Lords of Form, Lords of Mind, Archangels, and Angels. The slide shows the entities who worked upon man in the spiritual realms and those who worked upon man in the realms of matter. Last time, we worked upon the idea that a group of beings helped the Lords of Mind with their sacks of warmth. Next above the Lords of Mind are the Lords of Form, shown in red. These beings held a position as the angels have with us. They provided assistance to individual Lords of Mind. Next above the Lords of Form are the Lords of Individuality. The Lords of Individuality, shown in brown, worked upon the Lords of Mind in various groups or groupings. Above the Lords of Individuality are the Lords of Wisdom. The Lords of Wisdom, shown as purple, worked upon the Lords of Mind as a single group. These beings, the Lords of Mind, the Lords of Form, the Lords of Individuality, and the Lords of Wisdom, were inhabitants of the ancient Saturn Period Earth. Mankind was gaining the germinal idea of the physical body. Our relationship with the Lords of Mind is similar to that type of relationship that the minerals have with us. The minerals were 3 stages below us, with the plants and animals in between. As the Saturn period changes into the Sun period physically, the warmth condenses into a gas. The Sun period Earth is a gas ball with a dim outward shining light. Who were the shining lights? The Archangels were the shining lights of the Sun period. The Archangels were part of the breathing in and out of the solar day and night cycle. But they liked expanding outward better than contracting inward. To them, contraction was a narrowing experience, and over time, they began spending more time expanding and staying outside the close confines of the globe's center. But this expansion was not possible without the help of even higher beings than the Lords of Flame or thrones. The Cherubim helped the Archangels expand outwardly and spend more time in the outer parts of the globe. As the Cherubim came to help the Archangels, they also helped other beings. During the beginning of the Sun period, the animal kingdom was gaining a germinal form of the physical body from the animal forms of the Cherubim, the winged lion, the winged eagle, the winged bull, and the winged man. The animal kingdom grew out of the lighted smoky mist of the sun globe. Just as the Cherubim were developing the animal germinal forms of the animal physical bodies, the Cherubim were helping humanity gain a germinal vital body as they were awakening our ego's life spirit. However, even higher beings were involved during the development of mankind. The Seraphim were the highest beings involved in mankind's creation and development. The Teraphim and Xeophim also had a small part in starting the creation of mankind, but passed into liberation soon after their small part was accomplished. The Father came out of liberation in the 7th cosmic plane at a still higher level than found in this system of development. The Father provided these other lesser beings the plans for this cosmic system. The Father not only provided the plans of development, but the basic building blocks within himself. The whole of the solar system is the body of the Father, and the Father, as shown in light purple, did not create the virgin spirit sparks of God, as shown in blue. The virgin spirits inside the Father are being developed by the Father and his hierarchy of other beings. The virgin spirits outside the Father would develop in another time in another great being. All the virgin spirits were created by the universal All as a creative hierarchy. A part of the virgin spirits were located in the space of the Father. Those virgin spirits inside the Father have now progressed in evolution into today's mankind. Now, let's talk about the Bible. In Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. The verse is true, but let's correct a few problems with the verse. The universe, the one you see in the night sky, already existed inside cosmic plane 7. When the Father decided to create the heaven and the earth, he created this solar system out of himself. Remember, we exist inside the Father. In the beginning is the Saturn period of human development. The Father created the heaven and the earth inside himself. Why? Because it is our heaven and our earth he created inside himself. The Father took a region of universal space and started creating the heavenly spaces for us. All the other beings requiring developmental worlds were created in the same space. The other solar systems, galaxies, nebula, and empty spaces all belong to other gods. A conceptual problem exists in what is meant by heaven. Heaven is defined as man's heaven. What is man's heaven? Man's heaven, the first heaven, equals the desire world. The second heaven equals the region of concrete thought. And the third heaven equals the region of abstract thought, were brought into existence before, during, and at the end of the Saturn period inside the Father. In other words, in the beginning, God created the heaven. God did a lot of things over a very long time, measured in billions of years, but none of it was made of matter. Matter creation starts in the region of concrete thought and all development within the Saturn period, which is contained in the words, and the earth. But not this earth, but the earth located in the region of concrete thought. First, before anything else, God the Father created a place for the higher beings. The Father created a world of God inside himself for the Seraphim, the Cherubim, and the Lords of Flame, the higher beings inside universal space. Universal space includes the physical universe you see outside at night. But in the beginning, God was not working in the physical universe. God, the Father, was working in the seventh cosmic plane, which includes all the eons or worlds below. In the universal space, God chose to develop this solar system because the world spaces were undifferentiated. So the first task of God, the Father, is plan the system. The second task is to build a space for his highest workers. The third task is to awaken those higher beings and set them to work. Where is this happening? God the Father is doing all this only in the seventh cosmic plane, in the beginning. Matter does not yet even exist in this region of space. Max Heinl's Rosicrucian Cosmoconception says this about the first verse. Out of the ever-existing essence of space, the twofold energy formed the double heaven. Now, it is true this is going to happen, but at this time, in the beginning, God is still creating the first part of heaven, the spiritual part. The second part, which deals with matter, has not yet been built, because the beings who will do the building have not yet been awakened. Man's heavens are in matter, not spirit. The lower portions of the world of thought and the desire world are matter. The beings who will create the solar system worlds for God are not yet awake. I will talk more about what Max Heinl says are God's twofold energies in the next podcast. So God can now awaken the beings by eon or world in his region of space. First the Seraphim, then the Cherubim, and then the thrones are awakened. These beings are energizing the world of the virgin spirits. All mankind are virgin spirits. So the sparks of God, humanity, are being awakened. The virgin spirits have no ego yet, no material body shells yet. They are only sparks of God. Next, God the Father activates the Lords of Wisdom and the Lords of Individuality. So far, everything is spirit, nothing material so far. The preceding explanation was greatly simplified, and a lot of information was left out, so you could get an understanding of the basic process. Let's return and get some information from the beginning. A simple concept is a globe with layer upon layer making up this region of space. But in reality, the worlds coexist in the same space. Like water in a sponge, water goes in and around the sponge, occupying the same space. A basic question remains: who or what created the universal spaces? The beings who created the universal spaces exist on another still larger cosmic plane than the one where the Father exists. And all that you see in the universal spaces are created by those existing in the lowest cosmic plane. What are the cosmic planes above ours like? Unknown. Why? Our minds cannot comprehend our present universal spaces, let alone something still larger. Someday, once our minds are more fully developed, the answers will be more easily comprehended. Is this a cop-out? No. It is reality. The Earth, or solar system, at the beginning of the Saturn period, was started as undifferentiated spirit matter. Think of things in the following forms: fire, air, liquid, and solid. In the world of thought, think of fire as moving between spirit into matter. The fire state has matter, but think of it more as a state between spirit and matter. The strictly material stage starts with air in the desire world or sun period, and continues into the liquid state of the etheric region or moon period. Only in the last stages of the Saturn period did the spirit condense into a more dense matter state. So now we can complete the last part of the first verse. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Only now are the basic parts of matter being assembled. Dense matter, what we know as rock, was a long way off, but solid rock was moving out of the concept stage into an active motion stage, spiritual air rock. Let's get back to the Bible and Genesis. In Genesis 1:2, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. What is correct and what is not? Let's find out. The earth was without form and void is absolutely correct. The earth, or whole solar system, was a warm spiritual spot in space. The warmness is warmness of spirit. Hardly anything material yet. And darkness was upon the face of the deep is true again. Billions of years ago, the solar system was a warm, dark spot in space. Was there life in this warm, dark spot? Yes. The Seraphim, Cherubim, and lords of flame occupied the warm spot. In the beginning, the lords of wisdom, dominions, the lords of individuality, mights, and the lords of form, powers, were started and well underway, while the lords of mind, spirits of personality, the archangels, the angels, and the virgin spirits, humanity, were barely started. Humanity was just starting out. Our physical bodies were like basic substance, sack skins for the lords of mind. But the physical bodies were not physical. They were only thought forms. Everything was more like spirit than matter. Humanity was little more than a spark of God. That's all we were at the time, a spark of God in the Father, an undeveloped ego, and a physical body looking like a sack skin that existed only as a thought form. We did not have a vital body, so we were not alive. We did not have a desire body, so we had no desires or movement. We did not have a mind, so we could not think. What were we like? We were like today's rocks and minerals, but in a spiritual thought form. Spiritual air rocks. Next time, on Christian Fundamentals, Spiritual Hierarchies Part 4, we will continue with the spiritual hierarchies as they worked with mankind from the Bible's perspective and discover its secrets. This concludes Christian Fundamentals, Spiritual Hierarchies, Part 3.